Welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the green lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. You can find this super intense podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. And if you're at the bottom of the ocean, you've discovered that vodka bottle that turned all those people into Leviathan, don't drink it, because it will cause your cells to mutate. You'll start taking on the guise of a weird fish lizard monster. It's not a good look, especially in 2019. Got to go into the next year clean. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. With me, as always, is my great co-host, Winter.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there in Nerdland? I'm Central Quadrant Master.
Yes.
Winter.
Yes.
Handle Trash Monk the Third. It's a beautiful day here in the Central Quadrant. Hot and stinky.
Hot.
And that's just the women, you know.
Wow.
Okay, we'll move on. Okay.
There, y'all need to put some deodorant on over in the Central Quadrant. Maybe a little Axe body spray. Don't shower, just use the Axe.
No, we have a lot of people that my dad calls granola heads in.
Wow. That's amazing.
Oh, we might actually cut that out. That's fine. People don't need to know.
Okay. We're just gonna let them guess what granola heads mean.
Yeah.
Take it as you wish. Oh man,
they like granola.
I love me some granola, especially homemade granola.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that as an insult at all.
No, man, throw to some oatmeal, even though it kind of contradicts itself. Throw to some yogurt, man. You got a granola the Gert. You know what I'm saying?
All right, keep it down over there.
Pro tip: don't let anybody slurp your Gert. Don't let no one do it.
All right.
Don't let anybody handle it. Other than slurping Gert, what you been doing, Winter?
Oh, well, it's certainly been a week of social media cleansing. I've been changing all my profiles on the internet to where you no longer have my last name except for my private Facebook account, of course. And I mean, there's also the battle of my email has my last name in it, but
right.
Who uses email anymore? Just use my Twitter account or Facebook. So now my handle in almost all the major social media that I use is now at Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk III. If you need me to break that down, that's also including a brand channel that I created called TM3, which I was originally going to do it Trash TV. It sounds a lot cooler, but there's already about 5 or 6 channels called Trash TV, and they're all trash. So I'm going to, so after a vote with a couple of people, it's just TM3 for Trash Monk the Third, and it has a picture of my gamer tag with a background of trash everywhere.
Nice.
And the first thing that channel is going to have, I have to sit down and do it this week, is since I have my first 50 likes on my Trash Monk page, I'm going to do a playlist of a summer song playlist called Trash Summer Picks. Nice,
man. You're going to have some Kumo D on that list? There was some flavor.
I have no clue who that is.
You're going to put some Naughty by Nature on that list, my good man?
No.
Damn. Okay, do me a favor as a friend. Can you put on that list some Fog Hat?
There you go, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Some Fog Hat. There's going to be some random picks. YouTube has a lot of obscure albums that someone just uploaded on YouTube. and hopefully we won't get into copyright land.
I know, right? That YouTube, that's why I really don't focus on YouTube that much, because I don't even want to be financially and mentally bothered with it, because it's so finicky, you know.
Right.
And I don't. And my biggest fear is to put like hours upon hours into a creation, may it be an audio edit or a video edit, just for YouTube to say, nope, you're copyright infringed. You're not going to get any money from this creation you've made, because there's a snippet of a song from 1995. You know, just ugh.
For sure. And also it could be under the guise of you're doing a review over it. So
Right.
And that's allowable. That's how you get away with showing clips of movies in your that's how Siskel and Ebert did it, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is just the start of a new thing. Everything's gonna have the like trash in the beginning of it, and it's what's the unique part about this is that it's connecting everything in my life into one thing. So you'll have a group of people who are in the theology pastoral world meeting a bunch of these nerdy internet meme lords.
That's gonna be fun.
My channel,
Yeah,
and then comedy ensues.
And then you just let that rock and see what concoctions are made from, from pastoral ultra nerds that love trashy stuff,
That is correct.
Yeah, man. So you're going to see like a Pope version of Galvatron, like holding like a copy of Mad Magazine from 1998. It could be the best.
All right. Well, like I had an idea for a series at first that doesn't fit like the comedic side of Trash Monk, which is like going through the beliefs mentioned in like in a film sort of thing called cinematic theology, something like that, CT.
Yeah.
But that's not going to work out for the Trash Monk channel, because it's too like you already have to pass the hurdle of, okay, here's this guy calling himself Trash Monk.
Right. It's going to have to be something that people don't take too seriously. You know what I mean? Because when you lean into both of those, it could be very, very, very staunch.
Both of those worlds do not have people that complain on the internet, so I should be perfectly fine.
If your first movie for trash cinema, can it be Dogma? Can you do that for me? Can you just do Dogma for me as a personal request?
Maybe I might do that. I've never seen it.
You've never seen Dogma with Kevin Smith and
no,
and Chris Rock and of course Jason Mewes, Alanis Morissette, and Alan Rickman. Yeah, watch Dogma and do that. I'll be curious to get your take on that.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Other than that, what's been going on with your week, man? I'm really excited for your new ventures, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Well, it could not have been possible without Masters of the Nerdiverse.
Yo, that's a super lie, but I really appreciate that sentiment, man. We're like,
but really me.
So. Yeah, exactly. We're like, if you want a Bleach reference, we're like Uruhara's Bankai, dog. We can help no one. Our Bankais, our Master of the Nerdiverse Bankai is not meant for the education of others, dog. For reasons, it can't help anyone. It can only send knowledge. Oh, what else you been doing with your week, man?
I'm playing some Paladins. Get like Overwatch. The season had like a week break, a couple of weeks actually. So then I just switched it over to Paladins, and I think Paladins. Let me see how many times I can say Paladins.
Yeah,
is a whole lot better. I'll turn on that game before Overwatch nowadays.
Overwatch is slowly dying, man. What is up with that? How do you feel about that? Like, it's not really streamed that hard on Twitch anymore. People are very lackluster with.
Well, it's because what are you going to stream? You're going to stream like you getting like your teammates getting upset with you.
Well, that's just the toxic nature of multiplayer online shooters. No matter how extravagant their approach is, you're going to get that no matter what, right?
Right, but Overwatch and Paladins and those team-based shooters specifically have a certain type of salt, which is you're trying to get these people that are in a group that don't necessarily socialize well.
Right.
I'll say. and then you're trying to get them to play a game that requires communication that you're playing and you have to communicate in a way that will not piss people off. Which is something that nerds and a lot of people cannot do.
Yeah, man. That's why it's really important to run squads, to have buddies, especially like in a Discord sense, because playing with pubs and games like that, you might as well just turn it off and just know what you're supposed to do. Like if you know your class, you kind of get an idea of what you're supposed to be doing, right? If you're playing, you shouldn't be gunning people down with mercy, right? It's simple stuff like you should be playing the back line and healing up your team. And the same token is you shouldn't just be soaking up bullets with Reinhardt. You got to be smart with your shield and things like that, right? So that's one thing. But also going into anything team-based, you need guys. You need our girls, for that matter, that you roll with all the time. So you guys know if someone's getting pissed, you know how to deal with them. Versus a pleb or a pub that's just going to show up and cuss you out and call you racist slurs, and you have to deal with that mid-fight. Or guys who will just quit mid-game because they want to be salty.
Right.
One of my favorite Overwatch things is where there was a salty Symmetra, and she just put her teleporter towards a cliff. And every time a guy ran into the teleporter, he would just jump off into a cliff. Oh, man.
Now, I think Paladins is a lot more forgiving, though, in Overwatch. For instance, you can, in a way, carry the team if you know how to play your position well. Like if you're a front line, which is your tank type character, and you pick your abilities right, you can survive for a long time, meaning you don't need to be healed as much as the other players do. So the healer, the support class, could be focused on the flanks and the damage, keeping them healed, while you can heal yourself, essentially. Because Paladins is essentially Overwatch and League of Legends combined, if that makes sense. Yeah. And it's super cool how they do that mechanic of picking abilities in the beginning of the game, customizing your character with different card loadouts, and all that. And also the ranked play, although it takes a long time to find a game sometimes, depending on what time of day, it's very giving in the sense of Overwatch will take out a huge chunk of your SR, your skill rating, if you lose a game. While in Paladins, you'll lose, I think the most I've lost is 6 points per loss. But when you win a game, you earn about 15 points. So you would have to lose about 2 times in a row to start getting worried about losing your spot. Okay, so it's just a bit more, like you said, it's a lot more forgiving than, let's say, an Overwatch, which heavily penalizes you for losses rather than giving you the opportunity to learn from that loss. Everybody's so nervous about their SR dropping that's why you get the toxicity of the coach of the community. Who let this guy in here? He's getting us killed. He's feeding, as they say. You know what I mean? Which is why I never really got into competitive Overwatch. I always did like public matches because I just want to play for a little while, have fun, and get off. Like I never wanted to get into the competitive, having to talk to strangers. I mean, that may sound very like I'm alienating myself. It's just I know how online can be, and 9 times out of 10, the people on the other side of that mic are either trolly or racist or children, and sometimes it's just I don't have time for it, especially when I'm trying to relax and play a video game. I do approach it on a competitive level because I'm naturally competitive, but there's a difference between constructive criticism and literally just trying to grieve somebody. You know what I mean? That's what kind of makes Overwatch hit or miss, but that's the nature of competitive gaming all in itself. You get that in fighting games, sports games. It's just unfortunately. Right. And you reminded me of something as well, and this will probably be my last point so we can move on to your week. Overwatch seems to turn a blind eye to console players. For instance, if you look at the Overwatch League, it's all PC players at this point. There's no... while in Paladins, yes, they do have a Premier League for and that's definitely PC players. You can see that. They also have a Paladins console league for people who specifically play on console.
Okay, that's good.
And it's awesome that they separate them like that. I think they also, since Paladins is always going to be the weakest link. Oh no, I'm going to stop. I
know what you're trying to say.
Can move on.
And I'll just say that really, in my last little bit before I move on to my week, is that a PC player with their ability to use mouse and keyboard versus a console player is really like separating the dogs from the wolves, because it's so much easier to be pinpoint on PC than it is on controller. Some people have mastered it. There's always exceptions to the rule, but letting those two play together and not having there be a distinction is kind of not fair. You know what I mean? Because I know,
yeah. Now, I think there is crossplay in the just a quick play in the Paladins quick play, because there'll be some characters that do not have the Xbox logo on them, and I think someone sent a clip of me getting killed, and it was like the PC layout. So perhaps there is some crossplay going there. But what I was going to say is that Paladins. I was going to switch to this whole other thing about how they'll have they sponsor Twitch streamers to play Paladins. When Overwatch, they don't do that
anymore, right?
So if and Paladins will have a game almost every day, competitive game on Twitch every day, and if they don't, then they'll have a Twitch streamer playing, just talking to the fans.
They're trying to build their community, and they don't have the muscle that an Overwatch or a Fortnite does. So in that case, you have to be more grassroots and really stick to the people who actually are tuning in for your product. You know what I mean? You have to be more open for that.
Yep. They just need to fix the matchmaking, make it a lot quicker, and fix some bugs here and there. But I would recommend it.
Sounds good, man. It's like one of those games where I just need to get into it. And Sony's not being the best with crossplay right now, so I'm gonna have to wait to jump on that board when I get a decent PC, or actually jump into the Xbox. Eventually,
the Xbox.
Eventually. Oh man, my week. My week's been kind of weird. Up and down. Watched a movie, played a couple of video games, and starting something different. Thinking about going into becoming a Uber driver. Funny enough, Uber Eats, to be specific, because it's quick money. I don't know why I'm mentioning that. And the process is kind of funky, because it's pretty much just like applying for a real job. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. They ask for very specific information. I haven't done it yet. I'm probably going to try to do it over this weekend just to get a feel for it, see if I like it. Okay. So that's going to be something that I may be doing. You make your own hours. You do it when you feel like it. And from the online testimonials I've heard, you can actually make a pretty penny working not that much and doing not that much as well. Other than that, I watched a movie on Netflix called Tao. If you've heard of it, it's this weird. Yeah, it's a new Netflix film, because they put those out like every day. It's called Tao. It's like a set in the future. I want to say it has like a weird kind of Blade Runner 2049 kind of feel, but it doesn't specify a year. And
How do you spell that?
It's Tao. And it stars I want to say the main actress from Don't Breathe, I think is her. It looks like her. And it's pretty much just about she's abducted by an unknown force, and she has to escape kind of a cube-esque. Oh, not really cube-esque. It's more like escape a super high-tech house. It's kind of like a reverse. It's kind of like a reverse, a reverse kind of like thriller kind of slasher movie, but it's not. It's more technical. I would recommend it. It's pretty interesting. It's not amazing, which is kind of scaring me about Netflix content, is that nothing they ever put out is just drop dead amazing, other than their series. Their movies are pretty lame, in my opinion, honestly. But their series are usually good. Like your Orange is the New Black, and my personal favorite of the year, Altered Carbon. But Tao was just
Yeah.
okay.
But what about that Clive Owen movie that came out? Were you not that?
The one you saw, right? Anon? Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see that. I heard that you really liked it. So at least that's what I remember you saying.
Yeah, I liked it, but you're right. It had a few missing pieces to it.
Yeah, and especially like I watched the Cloverfield Paradox, and that was kind of super lame. So Netflix is kind of here to miss with me right now outside of their series. So other than that, games wise, I haven't been really playing a lot of games. I'm still plugging along on my PSP, jumping into Monster Hunter from here or there. Just playing a lot of that, and poked my head back into Injustice 2 for a split second because of the 4th of July thing, and it's just I'm not really, there's nothing really out right now that's getting my goose, as it were. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just trying to take it easy, trying to find new ways to make the show better. And another thing is that we recently put up our riff track for the movie Freaked, which was super fun, with me, of course, Winner, and Brian from MOTN Reviews, and that's on our Patreon channel. So if you want to check that out, now, it's going to be on the Patreon for 30 days, and then it's going to be released to everyone after that. So if you want to get like a sneak peek, listen to that, hear us joke around on that, check out our Patreon. It's up right now, and it's a $5 entry fee. So if you pledge $5, you can listen to it now and all the other new content that's coming out. So that's been pretty much my week.
Right. I already recommended that movie. I recommended that movie to about three people.
Man. Like, okay, it's funny because I love it because I grew up with it. You seem to like it, and Brian hated it, which is funny because he's like, man, that movie was too much. But that's what I like about this new segment, MOTN Cinema, is that one person would have already seen it, and the two people will there be kind of reacting to it. And you kind of get their raw feelings about the movie directly after it's done, and like how they're feeling during the movie. So I think that was the perfect pitch example of how that's going to go. You know what I mean? The good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I mean? So it's really cool. I'm happy that you're recommending that wacky movie. I love Freaked so much, man. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, it reminds me of like if I was going to make a movie back in high school days, this would be the movie.
Right.
The only problem is the people making it are like in their late 20s, I bet. Were they in their late 20s? I would say their late
20s, maybe early 30s at most, right?
Yeah. And it was like the world was not ready for it.
At all, man. That's why I super love that movie. And it's so underrated. Nobody knows about it, right? It's just one of those things that you just spring on a friend. Hey, man, you're in my house, so you have to watch this movie. You know, it's like, what's on? What is happening? And then you just lock right in. But, yeah, man, speaking of locking things in, you want to get into this news, man?
Let's get into the news.
News. Maximum. Yeah, man. Interesting bunch of news this week. Let's go through these and give our $2.50. First bit of news this week is that the DC Universe has actually outlined what it is. DC Universe Online, which is a game, but the DC Universe channel is a paid subscription, not unlike to Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything like that. But it's kind of an all-in-one if you're a DC fan. So what does this include? This includes exclusive content like Titans, which is going to be a brand new TV show just for that streaming service, kind of like how Netflix does their original content. It's going to have a Harley Quinn, I guess, cartoon that's going to be running on there, live action Swamp Thing, exclusive content. So that alone, and the rebirth of Young Justice, which was a very popular Cartoon Network DC cartoon that got canceled because toy sales weren't amazing or something dumb, but they're bringing it back. So a lot of people are going to just check it out. Me personally, I'm going to check it out just based on that. So that's going to be great. The kicker with this is that it also includes a free comic book subscription, which you can actually go through, like, I believe, like, Comixology or something like that, and get DC books, so you can read comics on your tablet or on your phone.
All right, there we go. That's the thing that made this go over the top for me.
Okay. You think that's too
Yeah.
much?
No, I think it's good. Because
Yeah.
at the point, I'm like, what? Who is going to buy a specifically DC Universe subscription?
Right.
Do we know what the price is yet?
No, that was going to be the closer, is that they haven't given a price yet. Anything more than maybe $10 would be kind of pushing it.
I'd go $7.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd go $7.
$7.99 maybe. $7.99 would be a good price. They're also adding all of the movies that DC's ever put out, maybe cartoon or live action. So you got everything from Superman to Batman Sub-Zero to Supergirl to Suicide Squad, I'm assuming, to maybe Batman v Superman, Justice League, and maybe future movies like Aquaman and Shazam will premiere on this thing first before they premiere anything anywhere else.
Yeah.
You can get discounts on for being a member. You can get discounts on convention tickets, movie passes.
All right, I'm getting a little bit more excited for this.
Me too. Honestly, me too. It seems if the price is right, I'll try it for a month, maybe 3 months. See what kind of content comes out right out the bat. You know what I mean? Especially depending on how they handle their comic book
30-day
stuff.
free trial. Yeah.
You know? 30-day free trial. Right? So I'm more than excited than I was before, about this whole thing. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Speaking of subdued excitement, we got a trailer for the What We Do in the Shadows spinoff, Wellington Paranormal. And for those who don't know, what's his name? Taika-waititi, the guy who directed Thor Ragnarok. And a lot of people like Thor Ragnarok. He originally he's from New Zealand, and he originally started doing smaller films and smaller projects. Like, I believe he was attached to Flight of the Conchords, and he also did What We Do in the Shadows, which is a hilarious kind of mockumentary on living in a vampire.
Yeah, he's like a director of a Flight of the Conchords TV show, I thought.
Right. This guy is kind of a low-key genius. And he's coming out with I believe it's a show called Wellington Paranormal, where it's pretty much New Zealand cops who do it's a comedy New Zealand X-Files, so to speak, where they go around and kind of do a mockumentary of poltergeist creatures and all types of crazy stuff. And the trailer looked absolutely hilarious. So I'm extremely excited to kind of see where that goes, because I'm a big fan of his stuff. If you've never seen What We Do in the Shadows and you're like a horror fan, or if you just want to have a good laugh, check that movie out. I think it's free on Amazon Prime right now. It's hilarious. because we're werewolves, but it doesn't mean we have to be swearwolves. Yeah. That's so dumb.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Speaking of furry intelligent animals, shut up.
Yeah.
It's hilarious in context. Speaking of furry intelligent animals, such as werewolves, Overwatch has a new hero. Overwatch has a new hero named, what's his, Hamilton? That is Hamilton. That is a super intelligent hamster that is in giant
Hammond.
Okay. I like Hamilton better, but Hammond's fine. Hammond is a super intelligent hamster that's inside of a giant wrecking ball of death. This character is a weird long time coming, because when the game first came out, there was kind of concept art for characters they wanted to put in the game, and one was a rocket cat, and they were just like, no, that's a little too far fetched. But after all these years now, we have Hamilton, and from what I've seen, he looks like a weird mix between Diva and almost like Diva and Roadhog, from what I can tell. He's a front. He's like a faster Roadhog. He's a faster Diva. So he has suppression fire. He's a front-facing tank, and he can pretty much knock people off the point by anchoring himself to a point. Think of like, I'm trying to think of the name of the actual stage. The Day of the Dead level, where there's that Times Square, and there's a fountain dead center of the point, and you can actually latch yourself to that and just spin like a wrecking ball and pretty much knock everybody off the point. He seems annoying and he seems fun. So it may be a reason for me to jump back into Overwatch just to see how that guy felt. Because honestly, I wasn't a big fan of Doomfist. and I wasn't a big fan of
Bridget.
I never even gave Bridget a chance. I haven't played Overwatch in almost like 6 months.
I actually like her as a healer myself. If I was going to play a healer, I would play her.
And what was the other one? She kind of looked like Kate Blanchett. She's like
Orisa?
Not Orisa. Jeez. Orisa looks like Kate Blanchett looks like a four-legged automaton. No, I'm talking about Moira.
About Sombra.
Moira's the one I'm thinking about. I didn't like Moira.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett thing going. That's my fan cast. But if they give me a Pinky in the Brain kind of skin for Hammond, I'm all in there. I'll jump back in the game and give it a shot.
And can you name the two world? So he's connected to a couple of the heroes. Mm-hmm. Like he was on the moon with Winston. He's connected to Winston, and he also is connected to Junkrat and Roadhog in Junkertown.
That's cool. I like how Sombra was connected to the Black Watch team before she was even announced. I like that. There's an unwritten kind of like Dark Souls lore to Overwatch that they never all the way explain. You know what I mean? That's kind of cool. You know what I mean? And I'm just excited to get another tank because I mostly play tank unless there's an idiot that takes my character and so I have to play healer and I'll just pick Mercy.
What's your favorite tank?
Together we are strong. I'm a Zarya main. Love me some Zarya.
Good, man. Good pick.
She'll get you there.
It's all about Roadhog, though.
Hey, that's the beautiful thing about Overwatch, man, is that I'm not going to knock your choice, dude. It's just when you clear a point with Zarya and you do it doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're using your shield when you're supposed to. You're shielding incoming DPS guys. You get your full 100% energy boost. You do a graviton surge and you just wipe. It's the best feeling in the world. You play that character just right, and it's just like, it's the greatest thing in the world. But she's also the squishiest if you don't know what you're doing as well. You know what I mean? If you go in there and you don't know how to time it out, because I love me a Junkrat when I'm Zarya because I just absorb all those bombs so easy, and it just gives me such a power up. And then I kind of like just dump them off the point. That's Bay right there. Zarya is Bay. But yeah. Playing another tank like Hammond, this seems interesting because with that game is always have to mix it up. And pro tip, know how to play one of every kind of class just to save yourself some irritation. So you should have a pocket offense. You should have a pocket healer, pocket tank, and just keep yourself so that you have options. And there's some people who just play one character. I play May, and I have 700 hours in May. And it's like, you're going to get burnt out so fast. You know what I mean? I play Reinhardt.
Get help.
If someone picks Reinhardt, I'm screwed. Right? So it's like, no, you mix it up. Honestly, have 2 or 3 tanks. Have yourself a Zarya. Mine's is Zarya, Diva, and I play some Reinhardt sometimes because I like doing a thing where I suicide and I just like take another Reinhardt off the board and just like charge him off a cliff. And they get so risky. Mad. I love it. It's risky, but I'd rather have us both gone than have them have a defensive push towards our point. Forget that.
That's true.
But I don't do it every single time because then I get irritated because I'm like, I can't play. But anywho, character looks interesting. People are at this moment making like fan art for him, and it seems like the community is accepting him pretty good. So see how it goes. I can't wait to jump in when he's actually open to the public and wait 3 months before, because everybody's going to be auto picking him. You know what I mean? Because he's new. So maybe like wait like a month after he's come out, and then once it's died down and everybody reverts back to their mains, then I'll start playing him. You know what I mean? Because that's how it always goes. Oh, man. Still on the video game front, surprising news. Showtime orders a first season, or a pilot rather, for a Halo TV show.
No.
Okay.
You save that
Do
till
you
the
take off
end
the
of
mask?
the season. Yeah.
No, right?
And it's a woman?
First season.
Okay.
Yes. So who and
Yeah.
it's Samus. It's just Samus. Samus Aran. And two, what actor will be cool with that? Other than Keith Urban. That's just like, don't show my face for the entire season. It's just my voice.
You know, I was about to say, whoever played that Judge Dredd dude.
Exactly. He's the only who's down for it, man. You know what? It makes that movie so good. It makes the movie so much better. And even Hugo Weaving for V for Vendetta. You never see his face. Right? And it just makes that movie. But who's going to do that for 13 episodes? Right? You know.
Idris Elba.
He'll be a sick Master Chief, actually.
Idris.
Get it right? Put some respect on his name.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis is so used to it. And he has the voice, too, but he doesn't have the build, though. How tall do you think Master Chief is? Like 6'5"? It's like built like
he's got to be average height. He's got to be average height.
Like what? Like 6'1", 5'11"?
Yeah, I would go that. In that range.
Yeah. In Showtime, you can have a little bit of a budget because if you think about it, it's going to have to be like a visual spectacle with the flood and all that crazy stuff. It's going to have to be visually amazing. We can
get some sex scenes of the flood, finally. What we've been waiting for.
Gross.
It's Showtime.
Okay. Jeez, that's some Cronenberg shit. I don't want a flood. For those who know what the flood is, it's literally a bunch of Cronenbergs running around. And it's not great. It's not a good look. Imagine a flood sex scene just makes my brain throw up through my nose. Gonna get some Cortana in there, some digital blue lady. Hopefully she's
played by Winona Ryder
for this show. Oh, I would love that. Her eyes darting around. She's real like freaking out, like in Stranger Things.
Or Brie Larson.
Cortana just constantly stressing out.
It's both likely going to be no known actors. If I'm going to
Brie Larson. Good. I prefer that. Like, I hate when they put Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Superman kind of shit. It just takes you out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I had problems with Chris Evans as Captain America before he just told me I'm Captain America, and I was just like, all right, you were doing it. But it's like, I don't want Tom Cruise as like the Green Lantern or something like that, because all you're going to see is stupid Tom Cruise in costume. It's going to be whack. You're not going to be able to connect him to that character. You know?
Yes, we need to stop the
they'll get somebody good.
Soon is playing this trailer that's distracting me about Childish Gambino being charged with stealing a song. The "This Is America" is a derivative.
What song is it? I'm curious.
They're gonna make me watch it. I don't know the title, but it's like the fans love the message, but the fans also think that it's a derivative of another song by Jay Farrow or something. Not Jay Farrow, he's a comedian.
Fans need to go lay down somewhere. Let the man make his money. But if it is a ripoff, then hey. A Blurred Lines super got sued, and it was real. Oh, it was a super ripoff, dude. So it's like, you know, if you ripped it off,
it is
slapped.
American Pharaoh by Jose Harley.
I'll listen to both songs, and I'll give my 2 cents more on it next week. How about that?
Okay.
Then that'll be the follow up. That'll be the rebirth, of this conversation, brethren.
Yes.
Oh man, speaking of people who need to be reborn, the past week we've lost one of the best science fiction writers of all time. Harlan Ellison passed away at 84 years old. Rip in peace, man. For those who aren't familiar with Harlan Ellison, he's written 2 things that I think, 1, are amazing, and 2 you may be familiar with. So he wrote Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? It's a book pretty much about like I hate to use the word, it's the, how can I say?
Do
the instruction
Android
manual
dream
on
of
cybernetic
electric sheep?
intelligence and AI. You know
Hold
what I mean?
on. Let me. I'm gonna have to confirm that on you
Yeah,
because I
I
thought
believe
that
it's
was
something
Philip
like
K.
that.
Dick.
Yes,
I think so. Fake news.
oh, is it Philip K. Dick? You know what? I may be wrong. I'm sorry. Fake news. Hashtag fake news. I don't know why I thought that. I think you're right. I think it is Philip K. Dick. Then there's one
That would
there's one thing
yeah.
I would like to mention in that
Go on.
case. Fact check. Fact checking will kill this podcast. One thing I do know that he did right. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a master of the nerdiverse, but I'm not a god of the nerdiverse. Not yet. My favorite thing is I have no mouth, but I must scream. That's something that he definitely did right, and that is a weird.
Hold on. You're saying that he wrote Scream?
No, he wrote a story called "I Have No Mouth, but I Must Scream."
Oh, okay.
Wes Craven wrote Scream.
Oh, Mike.
like Mike, man. You're having a heat stroke over there. No. Did you know that I created the question mark? No. I Have No Mouth, but I Must Scream was adapted into a video game back in the day. And it's pretty much just about a psychotic robot who's eliminated all life on Earth but 4 people. And he constantly kills and revives these people over hundreds of years to the point where their minds have just split from the raw torture. It's a crazy ride of a story.
Right.
And of course, a ton of other works that Harlan Ellison has dipped his toe into. So the science fiction community, we lost a giant, and rip in peace, man. You know, you're on to the next adventure, Doug. You know, the next great adventure, man. I'm so wrong. Like, wasn't that Philip K. Dick? You know, did he know?
Yeah.
He wrote
best obituary ever. He wrote that Philip K. Dick book.
Yeah. Did you know he wrote To Catch a Butterfly? What an asshole. I'm sorry, everybody. Speaking of unapologetic creators, we got the first poster for the Unbreakable Split crossover. And that poster is dope. I kind of want it on my wall. It's the kind of the Avengering of the 2 series created by M. Night Shyamalan. One is Unbreakable with Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis, and of course the new hit Split with James McAvoy. And they're doing a weird Freddy versus Jason kind of collaboration. And they're going to throw down. And they released the first poster, which is a beautifully rendered poster, which I wish Marvel would make their posters better, except for hiring the same guy. And it's like a collage of a hot mess. But the poster is the color tones are there. The juxtaposition between like their mild-mannered persona and their superhero persona is well established. It just makes me hyped for this movie because I really love Unbreakable. It's like my maybe second favorite Shyamalan outgoing. And Split was one of the best horror movies of 2017, I want to say. So have you had a chance to look at this poster, Winner?
Yeah, I like it. I was not a fan of Unbreakable probably as much as you were. I think it could have gone on, and I'm afraid to give M. Night Shyamalan this much time. It could have gone on for like another 40 minutes. It kind of abruptly ended for me. And I still don't see this being like action-packed.
It's not. Don't expect the Avengers, ladies and gentlemen. This is not going to have great. It's going to be very character driven and story driven, with maybe
closer
one or two
to Heroes.
Scenes. Maybe
would you say?
Yeah, way closer to Heroes than Infinity War. You're not going to get crazy fight scenes like The Raid. You're going to get maybe one or two scuffles and a bunch of tension and thriller.
What's the twist going to be? The devil from the movie Devil.
The twist is that that would be dope. Shut up! I want Devil to show up, dude. I want the M. Night Shyamalan cinematic universe to pop up. I want them to pull back, and the aliens from Signs are like watching from the spaceship about to invade Earth. That's what I want. I want something stupid to happen. I want Devil from the elevator. Devil.
Or the lady from the water. Dope. The guy with the big old hand. Big old
the guy with the buff arm. Yeah, he shows up. The M. Night Shyamalan. Okay, who are the M. Night Shyamalan Avengers? Let's go. You got Bruce Willis.
Not at any of his
tarp dude.
Oh wait, sorry. You go first.
Is it Ghost Bruce Willis that makes the team, or is it Unbreakable Bruce Willis? It's going to be both. That makes the team?
They're two different characters.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Unbreakable Bruce Willis, but Ghost Bruce Willis is a stand, like in JoJo. Uh-huh. So they're kind of connected. So he does ghost powers, but the other one's super strong. You have the lady from Lady in the Water, right? You have
Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg.
You have Mark Wahlberg from The Happening with his pet plant. He has a pet plant on his back that causes the happening to people. And you have, and let's throw in Bryce Dallas Howard from The Village. She's blind, but she can like summon
not the last monsters. Airbender.
No, he doesn't make it. No, okay. We don't count him.
The one person, one of the two people that actually have superhero powers. Nope, screw him.
No, he doesn't make it. He's way too He's way too OP, and two, screw him. He's out of here. And they all have to fight Samuel L. Jackson and the Devil from Devil,
and a tree,
and they're the two main villains. And in a tree from The Happening, and they have to fight on an island, but that's surrounded by the aliens from Sign, so they can't leave the island, otherwise they die. Because
that's how you make a stupid movie, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeez, moving on. That's free, M. Night Shyamalan. That's free. Speaking of stupid movies, Jim Carrey has agreed to play Dr. Robotnik in the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie.
I'm always curious, what did it mean to be like, I agree that I'll play him? Meaning, did anyone bring this to him? Or was it like, if this movie ever happens, I'm going to play this guy?
I think how it works, and I'm no Hollywood agent or star, but I think that these clearly, otherwise I would have a nicer car, that these guys literally just scrap Hollywood. Like there's a Hollywood Reddit and say, these are the roles that are open. And he's like, hey, James, man, you want to play Dr. Robotnik? And Jim Carrey's looking at his watch like, I'm not doing nothing. How long is it going to take?
Doing anything.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to sit at the house and be morbid. How much do I get paid? And it's just like, can he do the role? Yes, because Jim Carrey can do anything at this point, I guess. He's a method actor, so he can just put his brain into anything. Should he do this role? No, because live action cartoon mixes never work outside of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? It just don't work.
Yeah.
Like, remember Bullwinkle, the Bullwinkle movie? It was horrible. It was no. Remember the Yogi Bear movie?
Yeah.
No, right? No. Maybe the Flintstones worked. No, maybe the Flintstones worked a little bit, but that's because it was like 85% people, right? Like it was like Flintstone was played by a human. You know, and the only things that were like CG were like Dino in the pet saber-toothed tiger. Even a lot of that movie was done on using practical effects back in the day, and it holds up pretty good, minus Dino. But we don't need any more live action adaptations of cartoon-based stuff. It's like you go CG all the way, or you don't go at all. You know what I mean? Like, I think Super Mario Brothers should be all CG, right? Like, can you imagine a live action Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, yeah, I don't have to. I don't have to imagine it because it happened, and it was probably one of the worst movies of all time.
That's for you to say.
So,
if David Lynch directed that movie, and it was the same thing, and people would go, "This is a masterpiece."
I want Daniel Day-Lewis plays Mario.
No, just keep it. It's the same movie. You just lied, say David Lynch made it, and then it goes, "Oh, it's so edgy. This is a cerebral drama."
edgy,
Yeah.
smart, brilliant. Jeez, yeah, man. I want Christopher Nolan to direct a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Only thing I want that movie to have is great music. I just want the Sonic the Hedgehog soundtrack to be playing throughout the whole thing. You just walk in and just Green Hill Zone is going. You know what I mean? That's all I want. Just if I can have that, then I'm a happy camper. So lame. So lame.
Yeah, we can move on from the Mr. Carey dude.
So lame. Yeah, we can move on from Senior Carey. All right. I believe this is close to the last bit of news. Well, no, we have a couple more things. They're going to remake Child's Play. They're remaking Child's Play. Yeah, because children nowadays really play with their dolls. The remake would be
a phone that had the game Child's Play.
Really relate to children. Yeah, it'll be like Jumanji, where they just turn it into a video game. So the remake of Child's Play is just a phone app that kills you.
Child's Play. It's where you hire other kids to play with your child. Oh, that could go wrong.
How nuts would it be? That's weird. How nuts would it be if they really went left with it? Like, there's like, okay, no one plays with dolls. What to freak kids out? What are kids doing 89% of the time? They're on their phones or their tablets. Right. Let's make Child's Play an app and make it kill people. Put Charles Lee Ray's spirit into an app.
Into a computer, which then loads itself on the internet. And then they're going to have to make a joke of him on Pornhub. And then...
Oh, jeez. Nice. Chucky's on Pornhub. That's disturbing. Well, Bride of Chucky was damn near close to it with the weird sex scene.
No, I don't remember it because I've never seen
Bride of Chucky had a weird ball sex scene. Oh, don't watch it, man. I'm weird. And I saw it, and it had Jennifer Tilly. It's very strange. But who is this for, man? Like, what? Like, no one plays with dolls anymore except for, like, people in the Nerdiverse. Unfortunately, children have no interest in toys anymore. They want to, you got games on your phone? No, then they leave you alone. You got games on your phone? No, I don't. Yeah, you do. I can sense the games on your phone. And you turn your little head for 2 seconds. And,
I got chess on my phone.
What's his
and
face?
Mancala.
I got Stratego on my phone. You want to figure that out? He's like, yeah. Fucking little 5-year-old wins. What the hell? Kids are way too smart. Lastly, and this is pretty much news for me because I know Winter probably won't care about this one, but I don't want to jump to any weird conclusions.
Sorry. I almost dropped dead there for a minute if you heard that banking noise.
No live executions on the podcast till after our 100 episode, man. After that, you can go nuts. There's a fighting game coming out soon called Jump Force. It's made by the guys who do all the Jump All-Stars, Shonen Jump, Dragon Ball, Death Note, My Hero Academia, all that fun stuff. And they've recently added Bleach characters, Ichiko Kurosaki, Rukia Kichiki, and Sasuke Aizen to the roster. And the reason I bring this up is because Bleach is the last anime that I watched all the way through and gave a shit about. And honestly, Bleach had the worst ending of anything that I've ever seen in my life. And I feel a certain way about Bleach.
They added ammonia.
Whoa. They keep your colors bright. And for those who don't know what Bleach is, just don't do it. Because all it's going to do is irritate you, and it's a lot of content to get all the way to the end and be disappointed. But I'm not, you know what? I can't even say that because it's not the destination. It's the journey, right? Aren't we supposed to feel that way about things? I guess. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. It could be both.
It's just Bleach was so, and what happened was I was, finding the articles for the podcast, and I fell into a Bleach hole, and I'm start looking up character names and remembering episodes and looking up like wiki hole. And I was like, oh, this was so good at one point. You know what I mean? Then it got so dumb. And the story behind Bleach is a tragic one because literally the guy who created it was like, all right, man, you spent too much money. You have 2 weeks to close this out. And he was like, what? I'm like, dead center of my arc. This is my final arc. Let me finish it. No, more realistically, he's like, you have 2 months to 2 more volumes to close this whole thing out. And he just threw together whatever he could because his job was on the line. And it just ended abruptly. The anime never finished. They before the final arc of the manga, the anime stopped. It just never aired. They stopped it. They never aired. They never drew that final arc. So we never saw any of that animated. And it ended so abruptly in the anime. And even more abruptly in the manga. There are characters who never got fully fleshed out. The main character, Ichigo, got a brand new ability. And you never saw what it did. Because the creator had no time to flesh it out. It just didn't work. So the show closed with you never knowing the extent of the new character's power boost. It's so annoying.
All right. I'm putting my foot down. Trash alert.
Sorry.
Get back to the game.
Sorry, thank you. This is why you're here with him. Y'all point.
You lost me when you said bleached hole. I'm like, oh, he doesn't know what he said. And then you actually went into the hole.
Now I feel like an asshole. Okay.
Yes. Why don't you talk about how they hint at the stupid Death Note character?
Back on track. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so
they're not going to be
passionate about this crap. Anyway, another thing about Jump Force is that the main stinger of the game is that they led you to believe that Kira and Ryuk from Death Note were going to be playable characters because they showed them at the end of the trailer. Like, how is that going to work? How are these characters going to be a fighting game character? But no, they're just part of the story. They're not going to be playable characters per se. And I think that's kind of garbage. Like, that's not cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's like
right.
If you found out that Hamilton from Overwatch is not playable. He's just a part of the story. But they make a real complicated trailer for him. But it's like, oh no, don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Where he's like
he makes like a surprise
trailer
cut. And you're like, whoa, snap, it's a new character. Why would you think that?
It's like you're making a movie where you hint at the Joker is going to be in it, and then he's only in it for like 5 seconds. And
the mention of the Joker is made.
A main character.
Kind of like the end of Suicide Squad. Batman Begins. And it's like, that's not cool. You know, it's like,
how dare you?
That character with enough people belly aching is probably going to be DLC at some time down the line. You know what I mean? Like, you have to put him in. Figure it out. Like, don't be lazy. Like, if you're going to do that, put the character in the game. You know what I mean? That's my 2 cents about it. Like, don't be lazy. Speaking of things that may be considered lazy, you want to answer some questions? Would you like to answer some questions?
What was that? I suppose I'm trying to get
hole?
over your.
Yeah, that's probably going to end up being the name of the podcast. Jeez. Ugh. How did you fall into your bleached hole? Anyway.
It sounds like it would be a good punk all girl riot band.
Bleached hole.
Bleached hole.
See?
Well, there's already a band called Hole.
See? Bleached hole, man.
That's
the Lollapalooza, dude. You gotta go. You gotta go to Bleach Hole. Hey, kids!
Remember Lollapalooza?
Wink. Oh, geez.
Remember Woodstock?
Talk about shit shows.
Or something like
if you want to tell us about your favorite concert experience, send those to mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. That is mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. It's hot. Okay. Question. This being the week of the 4th of July. Yay, Independence Day if you're an American. If not, what's your fondest Independence Day memory?
My fondest Independence Day
America.
memory, huh?
Nice.
This is easy. When I almost got into a fight, I was selling ice and firewood to these campers, and this guy got behind me, and he was stuck to the one-way street, and then he starts honking his horn, and I'm like, I'm already upset. It's 104 out. Everyone's having okay time. I can't understand a word people are saying, but they're giving me money, and I'm just in the zone giving them change. all cash. We don't accept card. $8 for a 20-pound bag of ice, and the guy starts yelling at me like, "Hey, I've been behind you for like 30 minutes, man. Pull over." I'm like, "It's been 20 minutes, and we're pulled over right now." And he's like, "Oh, you think you're some kind of comedian? How about I go out there and kick your ass?" I'm like, "If you can wait until I'm done with the customers,
Right.
then we can talk about kicking whose ass." And then he just starts getting upset, and then luckily we're at his. I'm just giving the short story. They move. People move their cars out of the way. He drives past. He goes, "Thanks for nothing." Bleep bleep, and I go,
Nice.
"Happy 4th of
That's
July, asshole!" That sort of thing. And then he slammed on the brakes, gets out, and it's this like short, like Italian guy.
Like,
"Hey, you want a piece of me?" I go, "Absolutely." And then they just break us up,
man.
and I could just call the
It's
cops.
funny when you're in those situations, you can't really tell what's in the car. And they get out the car, you're like, "Oh man, this is gonna be funny," or you're like, "Holy shit," you know?
Right. Meanwhile, my friend who's like in the back of the truck handing ice sees this, and he does his best Rodney King impersonation, going, "We're just trying to do our job. Can't we just get along?"
Peace, love, and understanding.
Yes, that's right, folks. All the hot jokes from the
if you want Masters of the
90s
Universe dating
are from winter.
like dating itself constantly, then you're at the right podcast, man. You know, that's how we make our monies or lack thereof.
Yeah.
My fondest Independence Day memory is not really my memory. It's my cousin's memory because he's the idiot that did it. We were at my grandmother's house, and he brought his little girlfriend around because he was the older of us at the time. Well, he's still the older of us, but he was like a teenager at this time, a young teenager, and he had a firework in his hand, and he wanted to impress her, so he was going to throw the firework at a split second before it leaves his fingers to make it like he's doing a fireball or something like that. Classic, right? So he lights the M80.
Classic.
Mind you, I believe it was an M80. And he cups it in his hand. It was just enough for it to split. And right before he throws it, the minute it leaves his fingertips, it explodes. Pow! And we all look like, what the hell, right? And his fingers are like kind of charred, and he just ends up screaming and running into the bathroom. And we're like, holy shit, right? And the girl is like, is he okay? And my cousin from the bathroom yells, somewhat.
I want to date him now.
And my aunt's in there running to make sure he still has fingers. Because, like, what the hell? And it was just so stupid. And she ended up just walking home. Because he was in there for a cool minute, just like getting himself together. He walked back outside. I was like, is she still here? I'm like, no, idiot. She broke out, dude. What's wrong with you?
You idiot.
He was like, you look cool though, right? I was like, you're lucky you have hands, you stupid bastard. Oh, man. Good times. Yeah, I think that was my fondest 4th of July memory. And the one where I went to a park and got somebody's number, just being a goofball. But it's not as funny and not as interesting. Second question, kind of an interesting question. What would you consider is the hardest part about podcasting?
Yeah. Hardest part about podcasting is
explain
publicity, I would have to say. Yeah. So you spent all this time creating a great episode.
Right.
You've recorded it, you've edited it, and now you've released it on the internet. Now you have to do the next step of getting it to your audience. So it was in other like media forms. It's a lot easier because it's like, okay, they just have to watch it. Or like in the past, there was only a certain number of things that they could do for media entertainment. But with podcasting, it's the Wild West. You're competing with probably millions of different people who are wanting the same amount of time from this person. So you have to take the extra step and spend time, like pretty much proving why they should listen to your podcast.
I have to piggyback off that, because that's
Yeah.
really the hardest part. And what I would add to that is making yourself stand out is one of the hardest parts of creating this kind of content to any level of success.
Right.
Like you were saying, like getting your stuff out there, it is all about a couple of things, and mostly it's about consistency. You know what I mean? Like you have to be consistent because they say any venture
Yeah.
takes about 3 years, honestly, to really pick up decent steam. You know what I mean? The first year is you bumbling and figuring it out and making mistakes. The second year is about really getting a lock on what your brand is. And the third year is all about your mastery of it. And if you don't have the patience to outlast that lack of publicity, because you have to understand, like when you first do it, unless you're, Eddie Murphy's son or something, no one's going to know who you are. You know what I mean? And it's really, you can get frustrated, like getting one view, one listen a week, 2 listens a week, but that's how it starts. You know what I mean? You have to set yourself apart. Because I remember when I first started this podcast, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing, and I went to Reddit and was like, "Hey, I want to do a show. I'm looking for a co-host." And somebody kind of snarkily remarked, "Well, what makes you different?" Right? And I was like, "I don't want to join your pod." Right, it's the first comment someone snarkily remarked.
That was like
don't take this as me wanting to join your podcast, but I just want to know what makes you different. And I'm like, at first I took offense to it. And I'm like, no, look at this as an opportunity to thoroughly explain your mission statement, right? Because people are going to see that, and then they're going to see your response, right? And I'm going to give them, and that'll set you apart from how you handle it. And it's like, well, I'm different because I want to do this, that, and the third. I believe that my strange point of view can really add something different to an already strange point of view driven platform. And I want to do my artwork with it. So that adds another, crinkle to it. And, like Winter was saying, you're not going to get any kind of heat right off the bat. First,
Right. Because as many of us know, we do like the podcasts that like automatically they have an audience are the ones that it's someone bringing an audience to them. For instance,
an audience.
Adam Carolla is always going to have an audience because it's like anything he does, they're going to see Adam Carolla. Back in the day, when podcasting was like still a nerdy thing, you would have these random people making these things and people go, oh, this is great content. But now it's like there's people it's like people are being told, like comedians are being told, you need to start a podcast. It's like an easy thing that you can do, and that's great. But it makes our
because
our
a lot of guys
that
I
is
got
like solely podcasting a lot
are listening
harder.
to podcasts from Let's Players. I followed a Let's Player who's on YouTube and on Twitch, and they started a podcast just, get people to like State of the Union. And that got me into podcasting, listening to people talk about the things they love. And because we're starting from this and no one knows who we are, it's really hard to compete with the Adam Carollas and the Joe Rogans and the comedians who are bringing in a built-in audience. And we have to kind of start from the ground. And I think really that goes into that is respecting and you have YouTubers doing it and Twitch streamers, you know what I mean?
You also have YouTubers.
And it really goes into respecting and understanding the community that you're slowly building. You know what I mean? Like, for everyone who's listening to this, I greatly appreciate you listening and being that one listen or 2 listens, because it means the world to us growing, you know what I mean? And, and becoming a bigger show. And I think the hardest part of podcasting is patience. You can't do this if you're expecting to make money off of it immediately at all, right? Because it's a passion project. If you're coming in waiting for the money to come in, then you're not going to last. You got to do it because you love to do it. You know what I mean? Because you want to do it, because you like talking to people, because you like that connection. And if you're getting frustrated with it, you just got to keep up with it. If you build it, they will come, right? And that's really the hardest part, is being patient with that and waiting for those numbers to slowly grow. Because we just had our year, and the numbers I had when I first started versus the numbers I'm getting now are pretty. It's a bleach hole. You know, bleach hole is a pretty big bleach hole.
Yes, bleach hole.
Oh, okay. That means I'm running a bit long. I'm going on a diatribe. But yes, the hardest part is getting yourself out there and maintaining your product. That's pretty much. Last question. That's fine. Mike, you're falling into a bleach hole. I'm sorry.
That's going to be a new catchphrase.
I get so passionate about this stuff. I could just talk about it for hours. And we don't have that kind of time. So last question. You have to have a choice between getting a robotic limb replacement or genetic modification. Which are you going to choose? Yeah. You don't want nobody hacking your arm or something.
Genetic modification.
Right? Damn.
No, make me fit all the time, so I could eat.
Your metabolism is going to be so nuts that you're going to literally be shitting
still,
all the time.
Like play hockey or something like that.
Machine,
right?
Damn,
or be like old baseball players where they're chewing and smoking cigarettes, and then just like striking,
batting a 900 or whatever. Yeah, man. I just want.
Yeah.
I want a super brain. Like I want like a bunch of exobytes in my brain. So some things I'll just never forget. That's what I want. I want a modified mind.
Yeah.
No.
Did that
it always ends badly because then you're locked in with your own
a
thoughts.
Great choice. Having a super brain.
And sometimes it's good to forget some certain things, especially traumatic things. So yeah, it's not the best thing, but that's what I want. I want to be able to just to play. I want to be able to say, man, I want to learn how to play the piano and just download the piano like in the Matrix and just play that shit. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to do that. Anywho.
So you don't want a super brain. You want a USB hub brain where they just insert different USB sticks.
I want like two or three exabytes.
A Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah, I want a Johnny Mnemonic mind where there's like a little USB port on the side of my ear.
That's the second time you fixed my pronunciation.
Hey man, that's your bleach hole, dude. You check me when I'm just talking, and I check you for pronunciation. Gosh darn it, that Johnny Mnemonics. But yeah, that's what I want. Other than Johnny Mnemonics, what are you looking forward to this week, Winter?
I don't know. Playing some board games, maybe.
Board games.
I'm tempted. I only got like $200 free cash only, so I don't want to spend it on a board game. But I'm getting addicted to this game called The Royal Game of It's a very historical game that was created before backgammon.
Damn,
and
sounds fun.
Yeah, check it out, everybody. Yeah,
man. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out this weekend, so I'm marvelly contractually obligated to check that out sometime this week, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm going to be doing some driving. Getting a feel for this Uber Eats thing. So if I have a referral code, I'll leave that in the show notes. So if you want to give it a shot too, we can both make a little bit of money, and I'll let you guys know how I feel about that.
And we can all be like Hack from the TV show, man. Hack.
I want to be the pizza guy who delivers to like the Ninja Turtles and Ninja Turtles 2, and I'm like their buddies now. Be fucking dope. Other than that, there's no games coming out other than nothing. I'm probably just going to still play my PSP, but yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp and going on these food missions and probably getting a haircut is pretty much just my week. See how things go. Nothing else comes to mind. But yeah, any passing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, check me out online on Twitter, Instagram at TrashMonk III. That's TrashMonk the Third. I'll be in August 18th, I believe, at the local Anime Comic-Con. Going around taking video.
Check them out. Trash Monk is
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, I'll be there with like the selfie stick, acting like I know what I'm doing. You might even see the double rainbow guy because he's a local around here.
Nice.
Yeah. Have we ever talked about how I've met the double rainbow guy?
No.
Okay, we'll save it for another.
That's a story
episode.
for another podcast. So yeah, definitely check out Trash Monk I on like you said Google.
No,
Instagram
and Twitter. That's Trash Monk I or Trash Monk I or Trash Monk.
It reminds me of the tongue from Kung Pao. Tonguey. Don't! I have a wound there. You can always find this strange podcast on our website, mastersofthenerdiversecast.com, where you can check out earlier episodes. You can join our Patreon for exclusive MOTN content that includes our top 10 episodes, that includes our reviews, and our MOTN Cinema, where we riff on movies that we know and love. Join the Patreon today. All the proceeds go towards the podcast itself and giving us better stuff so we can sound more professional and do more things. The goal for the Patreon is to buy Elgato so we can stream online and start up MOTN plays. So hopefully we can hit that goal soon, if ever, and we can still do that for you guys because we're all about starting up new content. And I am thinking of starting a thing where we're going to do a live show, MOTN Live, where I give you a phone number to call in, and we're just going to pick a topic and talk for 30 minutes. So I'm
dope.
Yeah. So you call in, we have a conversation for maybe 5 minutes, so everybody can get a chance to call in, and we got 30 minutes. We pick a topic. I think the first topic is going to be superhero movies, yay or nay, and we'll just talk it out. We'll just have a conversation. So I'm getting that started. Maybe this weekend I'm going to do a test run. I'll let all you guys know on our Twitter, which is at Masters of the Nerd, which is at MNerdiverse, and I'll see you guys out there. So that's definitely something that's in the works. That's sooner than later. That's sooner than MOTN plays.
Yes. Please save your Wonder Woman is part of the liberal agenda
to yourselves.
Comments.
Please, because I'm not going to know how to respond to that. I'm, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I've been your other host, Winter.
Trash Monk I. And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.